Hello, my soapy friends, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Lissa, also known as the Soap Chef on this channel, where we make all things with a rather good lather. I've been a maker in this industry for over 2 decades. We are a 3D bath bomb mold supplier, and my favorite products to make, of course, are bath bombs. But that's enough about me. So I need to replenish some of my sugar scrubs because I sold out quite a bit about a week and a half ago at our first event of the season. And the type of sugar scrub that I make is kind of like the Tree Hut consistency. It's not exactly like theirs, but it's pretty close. This is my own personal one. I just brought it from my house just to show you guys. What I'm going to do though, I'm not going to make my regular one. TaraLee's just put out yet another Tree Hut dupe sugar scrub recipe on her channel. I will link that down below. And she was using the silica dimethyl silicate. Hope I said that right. That's a tongue full, let me tell you. And the consistency was really, really great. And so I wanted to compare the two because I love my sugar scrubs. I love the consistency. It's very much like the Tree Hut consistency and texture. My customers really adore it. But I watched her video and I thought, well, let me go ahead and try that, and I'm gonna compare the two. So I wanted, this is my own, okay? So that's why I'm doing it with a bare hand. I wanted you guys to see this texture of mine. I mean, it's a really, really lovely, lovely texture. And it does mimic the Tree Hut very nicely. And like I said, my customers adore this. I can't keep this in stock. I sell out of these a lot. But just for funsies, why don't we go ahead and try Tara's method that she did all the work for over on her video. And I'm going to compare the two. Give me a second. Let me go wash up my hand and we'll get started. Okay, I'm back. So in my recipe, I use water, emulsifying wax, cetyl alcohol, xanthan gum, glycerin, shea butter, a light oil. In Tara's recipe, she doesn't use any emulsifier. She only uses that silica dimethyl. So, and she uses a couple of other things too. But let's just get moving here, because I'm so interested. I saw the video, obviously. I watched the whole thing. And I really like that consistency as well. So I want to compare the two, because I might just have to switch over to that one if I like it better. Anyways, we're going to put just our phase A, which is our oil, shea butter. Hold, please. And chromoleant SCE. I have this on hand all the time because I use that in my hair products. So anyhow, that's it for phase A. So we're just going to start adding that stuff now. So for a light oil, I am using the high oleic safflower oil. So let's get that into the situation. Then we're going to put this in a bigger water bath on the stove. This is going to take a lot because I'm making a big batch. A little bit more. There we go. There's like nothing left, which is good. All right, so there's that. Next, she's going to add the shea butter. So let's get that in here. I keep mine in the refrigerator, so it's quite hard. go. All right, so we've got our safflower, we've got our shea butter, and now we're going to put in our Chromoleant SCE. Perfect. All right, let me go put this on a water bath and I'll bring you back for the next step. Okay, everything has been heated and melted down, and we're gonna go ahead and transfer this into a bigger vessel because I'm going to need it once we start adding all of the sugar. Okay, next we're going to move on to phase B, which is to add that silica dimethyl. But before we do that, I am going to be putting on my full gas mask because I am not trying to breathe that stuff in. So give me just a moment. It's going to take a couple of moments.
Okay, now that I have this on, I'm going to be kind of screaming because I do have a full gas mask on right now. So let's get this up here. We're going to measure out the silica. I mean, just from opening up the bag, I don't know if you guys can see it, but all these particles are flying all up into the air just from opening the bag. So go really slowly when you're adding this. All right, hang on a second. I got to get another bag. You guys see all this? You have to be able to see all that. I mean, it is airborne, let me tell you. Oh, please. Just want to make sure that everything remains sanitary. I'm keeping this mask on, obviously, because we have to start trying to mix this in now. And Tara said in her video, it's going to seem like this doesn't want to mix in. But it will. Just keep at it. Go slow. I've never worked with this stuff before. Okay, this looks like Tara said it's supposed to look. Chunky. I am going to leave this overnight. I'm going to cover it. Leave it overnight. So I'm going to come back tomorrow. It's only going to be a couple of seconds for you guys.
The next day.
Okay, it is the next day. We went ahead and we left the oil, chromolein SCE, and shea butter overnight. We put that silica dimethyl in there. It was nice and chunky when we left it overnight. And now you can clearly see that it has become this really nice, viscous, lovely looking mixture here. This really is quite nice. I'm enjoying the texture of this. So it looks exactly like TaraLee's did when she did her demo of this. All right, so we're gonna leave that off to the side for a second, and then the next thing she says to do is to go ahead and put your glycerin and your polysorbate together. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. This is the glycerin. And our polysorbate 20. And let's give it a little mix. This is thickening up just like she said it would. Okay, that's good enough. There's actually bubbles floating up in the air because polysorbate is a surfactant as well as a solubilizer. All right, let's get this mixture into the pool. All right, let's stir this around and mix this in. This really is a lovely, lovely consistency. I'm digging it. We'll see in the finished product in the end if I like this better than my own. I do have to tell you, I did not enjoy the powders wafting up into the air. And that silica is rather expensive. Let me grab a bag here. I got them from TKB. Each one of these bags is 1 ounce. And so the size batch that I made called for 2 ounces. So I used 2 full bags of this. And it is rather expensive. So for that reason, I most likely will not use this as my regular scrub base. Just for the cost, that's all. But I'm loving this texture. Look at this. That's fabulous, isn't it? Look at that. Nice. All right, we've got the glycerin and the poly mixed in really well. All right, let's get these out of the way, and we're gonna go ahead and add our sugar. Yes, I have a humongous bag of sugar because I make a lot of sugar scrubs. Okay, we've got the amount of sugar that we need. Let's start mixing this in. This takes some elbow grease, let me tell you, for this size batch. All right, that looks pretty good. Last thing we have to do is add our preservative. Optifen Plus is what I'm using. This is an interesting texture. Wow, what do you guys think? This looks pretty awesome. Okay, what I'm going to do now before I scent and color it is I'm going to split it off because I made enough in that master batch for 3 different scents. So I'm going to split it off right now. And we're going to be just scenting one of them on camera. I'm going to be doing pink grapefruit. Really popular seller for me. Just a tad too much. All right, perfect. Put that off to the side. All right, now that we've got that batch ready, I'm going to go ahead and use some raspberry mica. I'm going to use about 1/4 teaspoon to start. I think that actually will be enough, but we'll see. And that's actually a really nice color. I like that. Maybe just a little tiny titch more. It's a little bit too pastel for my liking. I mean, it's a nice color. It's a nice, like a dusty rose right now. But let's add just a little tiny bit more. Still not satisfied with this. Let me put a little bit more in here. There we go. Now it's a little bit deeper, a little bit more rich. That's a beautiful color now. All right. So let us add our fragrance. Pink grapefruit. There's no wonder why this is one of my best-selling scrubs. The scent of this is redunculous. Oh, man alive. All right, you guys, I think it's going to do it. However, I'm going to let you guys see the consistency of this, but I am not going to do the side-by-side comparison with mine until tomorrow because mine has been sitting for quite some time, actually. This is Bum Bum, by the way, in case you're wondering why it's like that kind of a color. It naturally discolors on its own. Anyway, it's a really good seller too. But you can see how mine kind of has that gloss and shine to it. And Tara mentioned that in her video, whereas her formula compared to the Tree Hut, hers, she was, you know, comparing it to like a slushy, a Slurpee, an icy, and it didn't really have that sheen, that gloss, that shine to it. Mine actually does. Mine is made with the xanthan gum. So to give a thorough test, a side-by-side comparison, I'm gonna wait until tomorrow. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in a jar, but I'm going to wait until tomorrow to finish editing so that we can do an actual comparison between the two. That's what it looks like in the jar. That's what mine looks like. And tomorrow we're going to come back and we're going to do a side-by-side comparison with the texture of it. All right? Okay, it's the next day. Let's take a look at the texture of the sugar scrub that we made yesterday, which is TaraLee's version of the sugar scrub, as opposed to mine. So it's still quite loose, but to be fair, like mine has been sitting, this is the one that I have at my house and that I've been using. Mine's been sitting for many, many months. So this still feels like pretty loose to me. It's still a good texture, but it's not as like elasticy, I guess. That's not even really a word. But it's not as elasticy as the one that I make with the xanthan gum. So give me a second to clean this off and we'll go for that one. Okay, now here's mine again. See, mine just is like, it's got that, I don't know how you say it. It's just like, it's elasticy. Okay, well, I can say that I did enjoy making it. I do enjoy that texture. It's nice, but it's a lot more loose than mine. And like I said, mine does have like that elasticy kind of a feel and texture to it, which I really like and my customers really like. But the biggest thing for me, I think, is expense. And so I'm just going to continue using my own recipe with the xanthan gum and all the other goodies that I put in there. And we'll just leave that, you know, I only made 2 big jars of this. So I can go ahead and just give those away to family members or friends or something. But I'm going to stick with my own solely for the cost, I think. Yeah, maybe this will get a little bit more solid, a little bit more stringy. Stringy, there's a good word, stringy. Not elasticy, stringy. Maybe it'll get there eventually like mine is, because that's what my customers expect out of the sugar scrubs, because they've been buying them for years. So if I changed it now and it didn't have this texture to it, they're gonna notice and they're gonna say something. So, but just cost alone, because that silica is really expensive, and you have to use quite a bit of it. So for now, I'm just gonna stick with my own. Okay, but this has been a really good experiment, you guys. I am going to link down below Tara's recipe. Okay, that's going to do it for today. I got to be moving on. So until we meet again, be kind and stay humble. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon.